Back, the Beer Bros Thirsty Thursday edition. We got another fun show for you today. Rob, I believe you are continuing the Lakefront trend today.
I am. Lakefront Part 2.
Lakefront
Three more beers.
And I'm closing out the Hopewell saga, so it's going to be a fun one today. Rob, how you been, man?
Good, man.
Good to hear. Good to hear. We're 1 day away from the long weekend, so let's pound some drinks and get through it.
Absolutely. Before
we get started, Rob, as always, you want to give us the rundown on where people can reach us, contact us, and all that other good stuff?
Absolutely. Find us on Untapped, Beer Bros. Send us an email with beer suggestions, dubbeerbros@gmail.com. Tell us how much you love us. Tell us how much we suck. Listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor. Find all our podcast episodes there. Follow us on Twitter for sure at DubBeerBros1, Instagram DubBeerBrosPod, and then follow us on Facebook where we post our quarantine episodes like this.
Absolutely. And a little special note: Friday, I'm committing to this. So if I don't do it, to the 7 people who watch this video, including my parents, I'm sorry if I don't end up doing it. But I'm gonna do a bunch of impromptu reviews tomorrow, a bunch of different beers. So I'm sticking to it. I'm gonna do it. Have a little beer tasting.
I have a couple in the fridge. I think I'll do the same. I'll join you.
Keep a lookout. It's gonna be hot and heavy the next few days. Not only that, but Rob and I both discovered that we're both going to Half Acre, I believe. Unless I'm saving the drive, then I can go myself. But we'll be doing some curbside pickup this week. I believe. No, we already said you went to Brickstone in the last episode. But yeah,
right.
So we'll have a lot of fun content from there on Saturday as well. But yeah, let's get into it. Rob, you want to introduce your 3 players today?
I do. So my first one is interesting. This is first gluten-free beer that I've tried. New Grist by Lakefront. We also got Wisconsinite. It is Lakefront summer beer, since we're getting to that season. And then we're rounding out with a little dark lager, East Side Dark Lager from Lakefront.
Interesting. Quite the hodgepodge of beers there from you.
Yeah.
On my end, from Hopewell, finishing out that, we got First Pills, $5 to whoever can guess what that is. Pilsner. We have Ride or Die, their pale ale, and then we have Going Places, their IPA. So a bunch of different beers on the show today. We're gonna have quite the palate this show.
Yeah,
it'll be a good time. And then afterwards, we'll have another addition to our Would Get a Drink With series. We will be doing TV personalities and reality stars. So stay tuned after that. Rob, do you want to go first?
Sure. Why don't I? So, like I said, I am doing Lakefront Part 2. So we are going to start with the gluten-free beer, actually. Like I said, this is first gluten-free beer I think I've ever tried. So let's see. Crack open the bottle. Little beer description. It's one-of-a-kind beer brewed without wheat or barley. One of the first of its kind that those on a gluten-free diet can enjoy. It is the first gluten-free beer granted label approval by the U.S. government. Interesting. Each batch gets tested for gluten content before bottling and shipping. And if you guys know anything about Lakefront, they have another one of these that's actually a New Grist lime. So little pinch of lime in the flavor.
Interesting.
Right away, I mean, it looks like a Pilsner. Extremely light. And you can see my eyeball through the glass.
It's a nice eyeball.
Thanks. Not much smell, I would say. I mean, it smells like your typical Pilsner, maybe a little lighter than like a German Pilsner. More of I don't know. Yeah, it smells extremely light.
Okay.
ABV is 4.6%, so pretty light for a craft beer, but also not abnormal.
No, not on par. But there's only one way to find out, Rob. Were you just waiting for me to say that the whole time?
I kind of was. Say right away, it's very crisp at first. I think it's very refreshing at first. It's a strange aftertaste, and I don't know what it is. They actually have the ingredients on the bottle. It just says made with water, rice, sorghum, hops, and yeast. I don't know what sorghum is. I mean, I wonder if it's the rice that.
Sorghum is used in pretty sure it's used in in toothpaste. Don't quote me on that. I'm by far not that smart, so I don't know. I'll look it up. It's worth a Google.
It's strange. It's almost like sweet. I feel like. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it's the rice. I don't even know if that makes sense. I feel like rice isn't supposed to be sweet, but it's an interesting taste.
Sorghum is a type of syrupy sweetener made from made from a type of sorghum.
It's a sweetener.
Sorghum is a cereal grain that grows tall like corn and is used for a lot more than just sweetening. First and foremost, sorghum is used as livestock feed and turned into ethanol. It's a popular crop grown within the drier regions of the states because it is drought resistant. Resistant.
Okay, that might be the sweetness. It almost has like a cider feel to it. It doesn't really have quite that beer feel to it. I mean, you notice when I poured it out, it's not bubbly. I mean, it is, but it's not. I guess you don't get that big foam head at all, even when you pour it just like this.
Yeah. Also, it's not sorghum is not used in toothpaste. I told you, don't quote me on that. I don't know where I heard that from, but not it.
Anyways, I guess food pairing, I would pair it with anything with enough flavor to kind of balance this. I'm not a fan of this actually. I'm not a big fan of this gluten-free beer, but so I would pair it with something that's nice and hearty. Maybe some fried chicken actually, I think would go well with it.
Okay.
Chicken and waffles,
Also good.
possibility. Some wings.
Now, doesn't that kind of defeat the purpose of it being gluten-free if you're just going to be eating things with a lot of gluten in it?
All right, that's fair. I need to pick something that's gluten-free. Let's go with like a hearty chef salad, maybe with a lot of bacon bits and blue cheese.
It's got gluten in it.
Or, I mean, any kind of, maybe some grilled chicken then, grilled wings, something like that. Gluten, huh?
Soaked in gluten.
All right. Anyways, time of year, you could really drink this any time of year. I really wouldn't put a specific month on it. If I'm going to drink it any time, though, it's probably like, springtime, I guess. I don't know. But, I mean, it's definitely a year-round beer.
Okay.
And if I'm going to rate this, like I said, it's just kind of got a weird taste at the end, and it almost leaves like a cider feel to it. I'm gonna rate this low. This one is, for me, is a 1.66.
You heard it here first, folks. Rob hates people with gluten allergies. All right, that's one of the lower scores we've given out on the show. So hopefully Lakefront can step up on the last two. Rob, any last notes on what was it, New Grist?
Yeah, new grist. I'm kind of disappointed. I saw gluten-free beer on their website, and I thought, I'm gonna try it. I know there's a lot of push in the beer industry to try to make beers lower in carbs, lower in gluten, calories, stuff like that. But I'm not a fan of this one.
All right, Lakefront. Ouch. All right, moving on. First up for me, we have Hopewell's First Pill. Let me give
Beer
you.
is it?
You're just gonna have to guess. Quick description for you here. It is a Pilsner, if you couldn't already guess. It is 5.1% ABV from their website. The first beer ever brewed by Hopewell, and fittingly, the one we reach for most often. A Pilsner style lager with a breedy malt profile and a snappy, noble hop finish. Tastes great anytime, but best with friends, which you could say about a lot of beers. So cheers to you, Hopewell.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I'm always so excited to drink this beer that I forget to show you guys the can and all that. I mean, I don't really know what the design's supposed to be. I don't know.
It's
Looks like a white picket fence here.
right.
Yeah,
Kind of with paint falling off. Yeah.
who knows? But I mean, it's not really anything crazy. Let's go ahead and give that
Not a
pour.
bad crack.
Yeah, it would have been better if I went all the way.
Right.
But oh well. That's what she said. Alrighty. If you take a look here, pretty light in color. Pretty not as light as Rob's was. Little bit more color to it, but you could still pretty much see right through it. You could see my face come through. Smell wise, I mean, once again, kind of along the same lines as most Pilsners and lagers. They really do all have kind of a similar smell. There's not really a whole lot done differently with them. So
Right.
if you're going to base it off smell, you're not really going to be able to judge it. So that's why I always say there's only one way to find out. Okay. So the taste originally does kind of taste like your normal Pilsner or lager, but as it sits on your tongue a little bit more, it does have a bit of an aftertaste. I'm trying to pinpoint the taste of it.
Is it bready?
Yeah, kind of bready. It definitely does feel a little bit more heavier going down, I suppose. Trying to pinpoint the taste. I guess, yeah, bready, more weedy, I would suppose. Definitely not as smooth as certain other pilsners and lagers that we've had on the show. So, I mean, it's still solid. It's a solid beer. Definitely, it's definitely. There's a reason why it's kind of the most popular one at Hopewell. It's because it's just easy. It's very easy drinking. I can definitely say that. But I think compared to some others, I don't think it's as smooth. I think it's got a bit of a more rough edge at the end of it, but still tasty.
All right.
I mean, you could kind of drink it any time of the year. I don't think it's really specific to one season. I think this is very, very easily, you could drink it in the winter, in the summer, and still feel the same. So, not really specific, and kind of something similar that I've gone along the lines with most lagers and pilsners is you really can eat anything with it. It's not too heavy that it's going to overpower it. It's just there. It's a fine beer. It's a good beer, but it's not gonna blow you away, and you're not really gonna eat anything specific with it. But that's no fun, so I'll think of something. Hmm.
Something to complement the bready malt.
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Let's
I mean, is it,
yeah, let's go with a nice plate of French fries. Let's say you're at a kind of a nice nicer place. You get just like a tray of fries, perhaps when it reopens, which May 29th, let's hope. Uh, Kaiser Tiger, great place. You can order just a tray of fries that has a bunch of different kind of sauces. You get a little garlic aioli, a little mayonnaise, whatever you're gonna dip your fries in.
What place is this?
Kaiser Tiger, pretty sure that's what it's called, Kaiser Tiger. Where is it? Where is it in relation? Kind of near the West Loop. Not kind of, but it's somewhat close to the West Loop. If I'm placing it best in my head, but very delicious. But yeah, not to get sidetracked. This isn't the tour of restaurants in Chicago. Yeah, you just get a nice plate of fries. I think a nice solid side and a nice solid beer together. I think you got yourself a winning combo there. So, score-wise, I mean, it's going to kind of be similar to along the lines of my other scores. Let me take a look back at past scores of. Let's see. Trying to remember what this one was. Hold on. I'm going to figure it out. No. Here we are. Okay, so I gave a lounge lager a 2.98. I mean, obviously this is more of a Pilsner than a lager, but they kind of do taste similar. So I'll go 2.86. I think it's a solid beer, but it's not going to blow you away. But you can clearly see why it is kind of their most popular beer.
Awesome. Alrighty.
Back to you.
I think we'll move on to Wisconsinite. That is Lakefront's summer beer. So per the beer description, it made with malted wheat and Wisconsin-grown hops and barley. Wisconsinite boasts a malty sweet body and a fresh-baked bread flavor. Weiss yeast lends its classic clove and banana notes. So I got to think this is kind of going to taste like a Hefeweizen, kind of your typical wheat beer with kind of that summer feel to it. So let's check it out. Kind of similar to a lot of Lakefront's beers. Not a big foam head, obviously. Definitely bubbly, but not a lot of foam. It's very light. It's definitely darker than New Grist, but it's still pretty light.
Yeah,
you can still see
along the same lines as mine as well. Just kind of
right. And a lot of summer beers they're golden in look, but also pretty light in color. Yeah, it definitely smells like your typical wheat, like German wheat beer. You get those banana notes right away.
nice.
Let's see. Maybe, yeah, I mean, banana, a little bit of that sweetness too. But
there is only 2 ways to find out. The other
second way.
You have to drink first.
That's refreshing. Definitely is. I don't think it's anything that blows you away. It's your typical summer wheat type of beer. You definitely pick up the banana right away. Like I said, in the smell and the taste. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's anything that's going to blow you away as far as like summer beers go, but it's very typical. I think it's refreshing. Kind of like what I've always said about, I feel this way about Wisconsin beers in general. They all have somewhat of a similar taste. I think it's kind of those Wisconsin malts that they talk about. I get the same type of mouth feel to it as I would be drinking like a Spotted Cow. It's just, I don't know. It's something that I feel like kind of coats my mouth. It's not sweet, but it's I almost want to say it's kind of creamy, but
it's Buttery.
I don't know. It's just that malt, that Wisconsin malt flavor to it that you typically get with a lot of Wisconsin beers.
Okay. Interesting. So
Uh,
obviously the season is summer, but what are we
obviously.
eating with this?
Well, I think if in the spirit of the name of the beer, Wisconsinite, I gotta go with something near and dear to Wisconsinites' hearts, and I'm gonna go with cheese curds. I feel like I got to. You could drink it with some Culver's. Get a Culver's Butterburger. I think it would pair. I mean, you could pair it well with a lot of different stuff. I think it goes well probably with any kind of like barbecue food, anything. Maybe you're grilling some burgers or hot dogs. I mean, it goes well with anything. It's definitely a beer meant to drink outside. Little quick look at the bottle, little rooster on top, and makes me want to go on like the Wisconsin farm and just drink this outside. So
I don't want to join you.
rating wise, I think it's good. It's solid. Like I said, I don't think it's anything that blows you away as far as like a summer wheat beer, but it's still very solid, very refreshing. Definitely would pick up again. I definitely enjoy it. I'm gonna go with a 2.94.
4. All righty. Lakefront has redeemed themselves with that. Any last notes on Wisconsinite?
Like I said, I kind of get a little bit of that creamy mouthfeel the more I drink it, and it's very refreshing.
Okay, awesome. All right, on to the next one. I'm not going to crack it. Ride or Die. We looked at the can here. I really don't know what the hell. I think it's like a sunset, maybe. I don't know. Who knows what's going on here? But looks artistic. Looks fun.
It's interesting.
Let's get to the main event of crack. Can I do well? Yeah.
You're not having your best cracks today.
It's Thursday. I'm not in weekend form.
Right. We're on 3-day weekend form.
No. Oh man, by Monday, oh boy. Be cracking that shit like crazy. All right. You look at that. Definitely significantly darker than the first pills. Smell wise, yeah, kind of along the same line. It actually does kind of give a little bit of a kind of an actually very very hoppy smell a little bit. Smells actually very good. But yeah, color wise, pretty darker compared to it. Really does have a bit of a lighter IPA, I suppose. Oh shit, I forgot to give the description. So Ride or Die, their pale ale, it is 5.5% ABV. A pale ale you can depend on. A bona fide fridge staple. Bright neon flavors of grapefruit and pine give way to pleasantly soft malt base and a quick slice of balancing bitterness. Reliability, tasty, without a fuss. Yeah, I think I don't really get the grapefruit smell. I don't really eat grapefruit, if you couldn't tell. I don't really eat a lot of grapefruit in my life, so I don't really know the smell. Pine wise, I guess I don't know. I think it just does. It does kind of smell more similar to some not as heavy IPAs. So, but there are 2 ways to find out. There's one. Yeah, I never revealed the second one, did I? And I'm gonna keep you in suspense. You're gonna have to watch the rest of the episode.
You don't have a second one.
Yes, I do. How do you know? You don't come up with rules because you know. Yeah. Yeah, you definitely kind of get a little bit of that sourness, a little bit from that grapefruit. I definitely do taste it more here than in the smell. This is why we drink it. That's why we say it. There's only one way. There's 2 ways. Yeah. Yeah, you definitely do get a lot of that grapefruit taste, especially as it starts to go down. Not really heavy though. Outside of the grapefruit, I really don't taste a whole lot else. I think it's just kind of you don't really get a lot of that maltiness you do from other pale ales. So um, it's solid. It's not terrible, but it's solid.
Any kind of like dryness or anything like that?
No, it's not really that dry. I think it's. I mean, yeah, I think with the grapefruit, I think it does make it more juicy, more. Uh, yeah, I think it does. It does have it has a flavor palette. I'm not the biggest grapefruit fan to begin with. So, uh, if you're into grapefruit, I think you'll really will like this. You do get a lot of those grapefruit notes. I feel like I've said grapefruit a lot. Grapefruit.
Grapefruit?
Yeah, you don't really get a whole lot of other taste to it. I don't think there's that maltiness that I'm looking for in a pale ale. Um, Still good. I would probably get it on tap as well, just to kind of taste it because I think it does taste a little bit differently, maybe. Um, this one isn't as fresh. It's been sitting in my fridge for a while, so but yeah. I mean, it's a fine beer. Season wise, I mean, with that grapefruit taste, I think it does fit more in the spring and summertime than it really does anywhere else. I think it could be a good beach beer or a good patio beer. You know, solid, a lot of fruity taste to it, a lot of yeah. I don't know. But yeah, I would probably drink this more in the spring or summer. Food pairing. Hmm.
Probably think something like heartier, right? Because I feel like grapefruit kind of has like a lighter taste.
I mean, it's got like a sourish taste to it, so
Oh, okay.
I don't think you really want to like overdo it on taste, but maybe let's go like a nice hmm. Let's go like kind of like a I guess a burrito bowl. I mean, you don't, it doesn't need to necessarily be a burrito bowl. It could be any kind of bowl with a mixture of rice in it. I think the rice would help kind of combat the grapefruit a little bit. Trying to think of other dishes. Fried rice, just a bowl of rice if you want. If you want to be that weirdo, just kidding. Seriously. Um, yeah, I'd say some kind of like rice bowl concoction that you can make. I think that would go well with it.
Stir fry.
I think the rice would go well with it. Got rice on the mind. Um, yeah. Score wise, I probably wouldn't put it over First Pills. It's not terrible though. We'll go 2.74. Yeah. No, it's a solid. It's a fine beer, but it's not. I think it's missing a little bit of that maltiness that I would prefer for a pale ale to have. But I want them all. On to
All right,
you.
awesome. I'm on to my last Lakefront beer in Lakefront Part 2. Little fun facts, since I didn't have any for the first two beers. Go on Lakefront's website. You can do a virtual tour of their brewery. So I thought that was kind of cool. Also, when they open, if they open it, I mean, I have to assume Wisconsin's just going to close back down because they filled their bars the first night it opened. Um, they have this thing called a tech tour, and it's a brewery tour, but they also includes a 90-minute exploration of food and beer pairings. So that might be something for us to look into because I've noticed sometimes we're a little off on our food pairings, but
I think I'm dead on.
I think I'm off. It's probably me. It's more so me, but
No.
uh,
Drag me in the mud.
uh, I would definitely be interested. I looked it up. It's like $40. It's also another reason to go visit Lakefront when all this is over. But anyways, Eastside Dark Lager. Little beer description: honoring the eclectic east side of the city. This Bavarian dark lager is a blend of 3 specialty grains, creating a rich, smooth, dark beer that anyone can enjoy. Our most award-winning beer of all time. Wow.
Would not have guessed that.
No. You look at it right away. I mean, does it not look like a Dr. Pepper?
It's got a bit of like a red hue to it as well.
Right.
Like it's not so dark that you can't really like. You can still kind of see your thumb through it, but yeah, it's definitely got a little bit of a hue there.
That's why I say Dr. Pepper and not like a Coke or something or a Pepsi.
Yeah.
You know, it also kind of looks like a carbonated coffee to me. So maybe it has a little coffee in the taste, which I would really like. Let's see. Ooh, that smells good. That is definitely a roasty coffee put into a beer. I'm excited to try this. A little view of the bottle. It's kind of has that. I don't know. I feel like it has that Old West lettering for the font, and then it has. I don't know the name of the building in Milwaukee, but I do know it's on the east side. Not up to date on my Milwaukee history.
You keep turning it around, so I can't get a good look at it. That is the Magic Kingdom Castle.
Probably, but it smells very good.
Take your word
So
for it.
I'm gonna find out.
Yeah, I mean, there's 2 ways to find out. So
That is very tasty. I understand why that's an award-winning beer. I think I'm more of a stout person, a coffee stout person, so it's a little light on that part, but I still get a lot of those coffee notes. It's very smooth. Anybody could drink this dark beer. If you tell me you're not a dark beer fan, I think you'll like this still. It's not your typical dark beer.
not a dark beer fan.
You got to try this. Yeah, I really like this. This might be my favorite of the bunch so far, including part 1 and part 2. This is it's very easy drinking, especially for a dark beer, and it's still rich and kind of still kind of warm. So I definitely would say, it's more of a wintertime beer. I would definitely say that. You're locked in on a snowstorm, can't go anywhere, kind of like right now, minus the snow.
Sometimes there was snow.
Right. Get a 6-pack of this.
Okay, nice. So obviously you kind of touched upon it with your description of winter time more than likely.
Yes.
Season. Yeah.
This is definitely I know I've said this before, but I definitely think this is hearty food I would pair it with. I mean, either Thanksgiving food. I would also go with like a chicken pot pie.
Interesting.
So, like I said, something hearty, chicken, grilled fried chicken, Thanksgiving food, something of that kind, because it has that roasty, warm feel to it, but without the baggage, without the heaviness that you typically associate with dark beers.
It doesn't need to be relegated to just being a dessert beer.
Exactly.
Okay. Nice.
I'm gonna pour myself some more. So, what did I give Hazy Rabbit last week? Okay, 3.73. So I do definitely like this more. I'm going to go with a 3.94 on this one.
3.94. Very nice.
Big fan.
Okay. There you go. I think I'll have to try it. Any last notes on Lakefront in general or East Side?
I guess with these, my last point is, you also usually get some like sweetness in a lot of these dark beers. I don't taste any sweetness, which is definitely what I like. You still have those Wisconsin malts though that you get with any Wisconsin beer, but
Okay.
that's another reason I think I really love this is it's not sweet.
Okay. Nice.
Just rich.
Excellent. Alrighty. That is the end of Lakefront. Now on to the end of Hopewell. Last one here of the day. We have Hopewell's Going Places. This is their IPA. The ABV on that is 6.8%. The description here is an IPA for those on the up and up. A vibrant combo of new wave hops offers fresh, citrus, tropical fruit, and sticky pine with a prickly finish, putting this hoppy bev on the path ahead. Let's get it. All right, so sounds interesting. Definitely kind of like a very similar theme with Hopewell. They do use a lot of kind of pine tastes as they had in or do they just utilize pine in their brewing process? Take a look at the can. I mean, again, not really any. It's just kind of like cool patterns and stuff like that. Kind of a 70s vibe, I guess. That's much better.
That was your best crack.
Oh yeah, we're getting there. Alrighty, we take a look at color. Actually, it's a lot lighter than Ride or Die was, I would say. Probably, I mean, a little bit darker than First Pills, but much lighter than I was anticipating. Smell-wise, you could definitely kind of get that tropical smell a little bit. Yeah, you definitely get a little bit of that tropical citrusy smell to it. Trying to see if I can smell anything else. No, yeah, I would stick along those two. Again, you don't really smell much of that pine. I don't think you're supposed to anyway. So, but there are two ways to find out. The second, Rob, is that you freeze it and you chew it. But we'll drink it. It's not bad. It's not bad. In fact, it's pretty good. Definitely kind of along that similar IPA line of you definitely get that heavy kind of finish to it, more of that mouthfeel. You don't get as much of the citrus, I would say, than you do when you smell it. I think it is much more hoppier, kind of along the same lines as I'm trying to think. It's not as hoppy as like a Revolution or as an Anti-Hero or even a Hop Slam, but kind of similar to like a Galaxy Hero perhaps from Revolution or Next Coast from Goose Island. Very tasty though. Yeah, it does have a heavy finish to it. I think it's not like overwhelmingly heavy, but it is much heavier compared to the other two. Obviously, it's an IPA, so it's supposed to be, but still solid. Seasonality wise, I mean, probably between that winter and spring is the most ideal time to drink it. I don't think it's as heavy as others, so I think you can safely drink it in the summertime or in the springtime. You could drink it you could drink beer anytime if you really wanted to, but if you want the full effect, I would say probably between that winter, spring, kind of that weird, I guess the month of April. So we just missed it.
said it was kind of light on citruses though.
You don't, yeah, you don't really get a lot of that. So you really don't get a lot, like any of it. So you get it on the smell, but not really the taste. Food wise, I hate to be boring, but it is just kind of, there's not really a specific, it's kind of along the same lines as most IPAs, I think. If you're gonna eat this with something, I would eat it with a more light meal than I would a heavier meal. Perhaps a let us think. Let us think. I mean, probably like a chicken, like chicken wings or something like that. I feel like this would go well with it. I think it has a good cooling effect. So if you get hot wings, it's not gonna, it is a good. It probably with the citrus that's supposed to be in it, I think that maybe does help cool the mouth down. So we'll go hot wings. But yeah, I think you're not going to want to drink this with a heavier meal. So buyer beware on that. It's more of an appetizer beer. Trying to think if there's anything else I need to say before giving the score. Excuse me. I would say no. Pour on this bad boy. Got a good head to it too. Not too bad.
Oh, yeah, that's a great foam head right there.
Score wise, yeah. I mean, the more you drink it, I think the more it does start to grow. And I'm going to give it a 3.19.
Okay.
It's very very it does have a good flavor to it. I don't, it's just, I think if you're reading into the citrus part of it, I think you might be disappointed, but I think it is still a very good beer and one of their better ones I've had. Which, I mean, Hopewell's had a lot of good beers, so
sure,
very enjoyable. And that concludes the Hopewell saga of my story here in quarantine.
Cool.
Yeah, Rob, any last notes on Lakefront or anything?
Make the drive up there. Like I said that on the last episode too, but we say this every week. Do support your local breweries. Make the drive up to Milwaukee. You don't have anything better to do. Like Joe said last time, go visit them. They also have food, and the food's really good actually. I did get
Friday fish fries.
What's that?
They have Friday fish fries at Lakefront.
Ah, all right. Do that.
I mean, not now because obviously, but when they do open.
I did kind of lie. I posted a little picture on our Facebook page showing that I did try Wisconsinite before because I had bought some cheese curds when I went up to Lakefront. So I am reviewing a beer that I have already had. I did post a picture.
You lied to our viewers.
But it did go well with the cheese curds. Like I said, they have good food. Definitely get some food and some beer.
Dare you? No, yeah, yeah. I'm along the same lines. I mean, Hopewell, significantly smaller brewery. You're not really going to find a lot of their stuff at. I've never seen their stuff at any kind of store, but support those. Support the microbreweries, support the big breweries, support your brewery. We want beer to be back when we come back. So, support them, keep them in business, do some curbside. I mean, at least in Illinois, things are starting to look like they could be opening soon, but
we're progressing. We are.
We're progressing, but still, I mean, it's going to be limited. You're still really not going to have that much to do. Take a trip, take a drive, or even.
I think I might have to stop at Hopewell. After hearing Going Places IPA and then also Table Salt from last week.
Table Salt is very good. Had a couple of those tonight. Yeah. Had those with my food pairing, and it was delicious. I knew what I was talking about. No.
Anyways.
Support your breweries. Onto our growing segment here of people we would get a drink with. We got TV personalities and reality TV stars. We kind of put some stipulations on it. Athletes that are both announcers or people in reality TV shows like Jay Cutler were excluded from this list because it would be way too easy to just say Jay Cutler and Chris Humphries. Was he on Keeping Up with the Kardashians? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean Lamar Odom. Although,
right, Lamar Odom, Kanye. Like, it would be too easy. So we said no to that. So these are strictly people who are known for the reality TV shows and people who are known for like being hosts or anchors and stuff like that. So let's do reality TV stars first, because I'm going to be honest, I don't watch a lot of reality TV, so it's going to be a weird list for me.
Oh, I thought we were just doing reality and personalities together. I have one list. Clearly, we did not discuss this enough for me to understand what was going on, because four of the people I have.
Here's my text. So I'd say one half TV personalities, like hosts and announcers and stuff. On the other list, reality TV stars. That was my text. So
I read that in
clearly. Well, Rob, go ahead and all right. So how many you have? Mostly TV personalities?
No, I have mostly reality stars.
All right. So while we're doing reality stars, just create a list of TV personalities.
All right.
So I'll go first. I'll give you some time. Number 5 for me, and again, I really don't watch a lot of reality. There's really only one reality show that I watch religiously. So number 5 is the Long Island Medium. I think her name's Teresa Caputo. I don't know. The fact that I don't know her name is telling enough that this was a struggle of a list. I don't know. She'd probably tell me that my dead dog misses me, and I'd be like, "That's sweet. Here's $100 for telling me that." I don't know. It'd be interesting. She probably seems like someone who gets drunk pretty often, so it'd be fun. From the times my mom has it on while I'm here, it seems entertaining enough. So, yeah, we'll go the Long Island Medium. Rob?
Alrighty. So my number 5 on reality TV is a guy from a show I used to watch a ton while I was in middle school, high school. I think we both did. It was on the History Channel.
I know exactly who you're talking
about. Probably the best part of the show. I mean, the guy was hilarious. He was dumb too. I know he got into some legal issues got arrested for.
But reality star hasn't.
Right. So that's Chumley from Pawn Stars. Love the show Pawn Stars.
Great show.
I thought of it the other day and I thought, I need to watch Pawn Stars again. I completely forgot about it.
Pawn Stars is the perfect, you're sick from home or you just have an off day and they have I don't think the History Channel plays anything other than Pawn Stars between the times of noon and 6 p.m. It's always on. Right. But yeah. Great choice. Chumley. Fuck, I got something in the throat here. It's not Corona. Maybe. Who knows? Number 4 for me. I really don't know her that much, but she's when I think reality TV, she kind of pops up in my mind. That's Lauren Conrad. I'm sure there's drama that she could share. She's from the Hills.
Ah, okay. All right.
Also Laguna Beach, which Kristen Cavallari's start as well. But I cannot get a drink of Cavallari because she has gotten divorced from my guy, so can't do it. So Lauren Conrad, I'm officially hashtag Team Lauren. I don't even know if they were feuding, but we're gonna go with that. So Lauren Conrad, I don't know. Do with that as you may.
All right. Number 4 is a guy from, I mean, my fiance got me into the show, and I actually turned into a pretty big fan of it. And that was Love Is Blind, the Netflix show. This guy was the one guy from Chicago. He's a diehard Bears fan. He's also a diehard Cubs fan, but I'm going to ignore that part. His name is Mark Cuevas.
Cub fan.
His name is Mark Cuevas. I follow him on Twitter. The guy is hilarious. I also felt bad for him on the show just because Jessica, who was his, who he married on the show, was horrible to him. The guy deserves so much better. Probably the best guy on the show. Definitely would love to get a beer with that guy and just talk about how shitty of an experience he had. So
what's his name?
Mark Cuevas.
Mark, if you're watching, let's get a beer, man.
Yeah.
There we go. We're famous now. All right. Number 3 for me, we already talked about him. Chumley. That's my dude. My favorite Chumley moment, gotta say it, was when Bob Dylan was in Vegas and told him, he said, Chumley, I need you to go get Bob Dylan's autograph. And he told him, he gave him the record and it was Bob Dylan's face. He's like, do not have him sign on the face and do not have him make it out to anybody because then it will diminish the value greatly. Chumley goes and he tracks him down. Obviously it was fake. Like they were like, oh, and I turned the corner and there Bob Dylan was. Like, obviously they knew it where he was. And he's like, hey, can you sign this? And he's like, where do you want me to sign? And Chumley's just like, anywhere's fine. And he's like, do you want me to make it out? He's like, yeah, make it out to Chumley. Like the 2 things he had to do, and he went the opposite direction. God bless Chumley.
Oh, man. All righty. My number 3 guy is a guy from 90 Day Fiance, which, again, my fiance got me into the show. It's pretty fun to laugh at. I don't understand these people. I hate to say it, but they're really dumb. A lot of these people are really dumb on the show. But that's true with a lot of reality TV. This guy is the best part of the show. If you don't know him, Big Ed is his name. Well, his name's Ed, but follow him on Instagram. His name is Big Ed. And the guy is 4'11" and does not have a neck. Exactly. He has crazy long hair. I mean, he's just such a character. I'd love to get drunk with that guy because I can only imagine how he would be drunk. It would just be a great time.
Awesome. Number 2 for me, it's a twofer. Chip and Joanne Gaines from Fixer Upper. I think those are just really sweet people. I would love to just get a drink with them. Chip just seems like he would crack. The guy's like kind of like he kind of acts like a dummy on the show. The guy just seems like I would crack up at everything he does. And then maybe if we have enough drinks, I could talk him into just like, be like, hey guys, I bought this $100 house. Can you know, it's a fixer upper. Can you make me a new house? And they would because we'd be great friends. So yeah, Chip and Joanne Gaines.
Okay. All right. So since I had to adjust my list, I kind of had to just come up with someone just because. My fiance got me into the show called Love Island with her, and it was extremely stupid. Probably one of the dumber reality TV shows, but there was a guy on there who was from Texas who was just a complete asshole and kind of played a lot of the girls over there. His name was Weston. I mean, he was a big douche, but the guy seemed like he would be a lot of fun. He was a big beer guy, it seemed like. I think he would just be a lot of fun to go out with in Dallas, or I think he was from Dallas area. But yeah, that's my pick.
Okay. Number one for me, I could have made a whole list of just people from this show. I mean, I could rattle off hundreds of names, but I mean, my number one reality show, Rob tried to diminish its value as a reality TV show before we went on. Yeah. Oh, yes, you did, you jerk. Survivor. It is the greatest reality TV show. It is the most historic reality TV show. Don't at me.
I agree.
It changed the landscape, and so I would get a drink with anybody from that show who has competed on that show. We got guys like Boston Rob, we got Parvati, Tyson Apostle. There's so many, and then there's most recently the two-time winner, the greatest of all time, Tony Vlachos. But number one for me, he has a entire podcast based around like all these reality shows. He was from one of the original seasons. Rob Sesternino just seems like a really cool dude. I don't even I would want to talk Survivor, but he's just a really awesome guy. He's into so much stuff that he'd just be a really fun guy. And he's got that kind of biting sarcasm that's just really funny. And he's the number one reality TV star that I would absolutely get a drink with.
Awesome. My last one is a guy from The Circle. And if you have not watched The Circle on Netflix, watch it. It is awesome. It's a great show. You think of the concept, it's like a social media type of like Survivor show. And you think about that and you're like, oh, that sounds dumb. Like, I'm not going to watch it. Watch the first episode. It's very entertaining. This guy, he was from New York. He's Italian. He has the biggest New York accent. He's just your stereotypical Italian New Yorkan. That was Joey Sasso. The guy just had the best one-liners in the show. And I mean, he was the best part of that show. Hilarious. And I would love to get a drink with that guy. Big heart too. Very good guy.
Very nice. Very nice. All right. Do it for reality show. Now, Rob, are you ready for TV personalities?
I am. Yeah.
If I put you on the spot, will you be ready?
Yeah, I got 5.
All right, let's go. Number 5.
All right, number 5. I'm going with the guy who originally was, well, now I wish I could go back, but anyways, he had a show on Comedy Central. Now he's a late night host. I think he seems like such a great guy and just a good guy that I would love to get a drink with and just kind of talk about anything with him. And that's Stephen Colbert. I do like his late night show. The guy is funny. And he's very smart too. So my number 5.
Nice. Number 5 for me. I have Jessica Mendoza. She lost some points for me for her comments about the Astros, but however, I think she is kind of one of the smartest like analysts out there. She was the first woman to kind of break that barrier and be a headliner of announcing a major sports, a major U.S. sports broadcast, and I think she's one of the most like very intelligent and smart people talking, just announcing baseball, and I would love to get a drink with Jessica Mendoza.
I like the choice. I'm a big fan of her too. Definitely, I would join you for that drink.
Nope, not invited.
All right, fine. Number 4 for me is, Joe and I are fans of like ESPN. I think we would both agree, though, we do like this guy. I like his segment. I like his insights, his interviews. I don't really like SportsCenter. There's a lot of personalities that I don't like on that show, but Scott Van Pelt just seems like a very classy guy. I think he brings really good insight into whatever topic it is. And he also has great interviews.
Very, yeah. He's just very elegant about how he goes about things. If there's a tough topic, I want to hear Scott Van Pelt's take on it.
Right.
Absolutely. Awesome. Number 4 for me is Jim Nance. I think, he just seems like he kind of seems like a bro. He just seems like once that tie comes off, he lets loose. I would love to get a drink of Jim Nance. He has seen some of the greatest games of all time. He's called some of the greatest games of all time. Would love to just sit down and talk with Jim Nance.
Awesome. My number 3 is another historical announcer. Maybe, one of the most historical announcers. He had the famous line, "Do you believe in miracles?" And that is Al Michaels. The guy has been around for like almost every single sports moment. I mean, the guy's all time. I would love to ask or just pick his brain for stories about any kind of sports stories. I mean, he was there for all of it.
I would love to hear the John Madden stories.
That too. Absolutely.
Great ones. Awesome. Excellent pick. Number 3 for me is a guy who just he has an immediate line to my to my laugh track. He is hilarious. And that is Conan O'Brien. I think he's so hilarious. His Clueless Gamer videos are whenever I need a good laugh, I watch those. Anytime he messes with Jordan Schlansky, he has a video where he goes to Taco Bell. It's just, he mixes that perfect blend of weird, creepy guy and just he's just so hilarious. And I would probably die of laughter just from one night with him.
Love it. I'm going another late night TV host, and this guy started on SNL. He did do some movies a while ago. He doesn't really do movies anymore, but I think the guy's hilarious. I think he does fun stuff on his show, and that's Jimmy Fallon. It's kind of hard to hate on the guy just because he's very goofy too.
He's just one of them for laughing at everything that someone
Right. But I think he'd be a good time. We probably wouldn't stop laughing. I mean, we'd probably be 3 beers in and we'd be laughing at everything. But it would be good.
You'd be like, "Hey, Jimmy," like that.
Right.
But great choice. Number 2 for me, I watch this guy almost every day. Steve Harvey. I think that guy is so fucking funny. He saved Family Feud. He is hilarious on Family Feud. I don't know. Steve Harvey, I feel like I could talk to Steve Harvey for 8 hours. He is hilarious.
It's a great choice. Great choice. I'm going for my number 1. I'm going with a guy that actually Joe had on his sport list, since I had to come up with this on the fly, because this guy never played the game. But I still would have loved to meet this guy. And that was Harry Carey, who he was mostly the Cubs announcer for most of his career, but he also did announce for the White Sox at one point in his career. But that guy has so many stories. I mean, the night would never end.
No.
I know.
Yeah, no. I mean, that guy was just nonstop party animal, but great choice. He's not on my list because he was already on my sports list, so took him off. But number 1, I mean, this is, if you heard me in reality TV, this is easy. It's Jeff Probst. That guy, I've known him longer than most people in my life. I mean, not personally, but I mean, there are so many stories he could tell me that we could sit down in a bar for 48 hours and he could, I would never say a word and I would still want to hear him talk after that 48 hours is up. I mean, that guy he's awesome. He's amazing. He's Jeff freaking Probst. It's the best. Anything related to Survivor, I would love to talk about. Yeah, that is my list. Do you have any honorable mentions, Rob?
I actually had a guy that I'm not normally a big fan of, but I did see him interview on Barstool Sports, and it sounded like he had some really interesting stories. That was Joe Buck. I mean,
Mhm.
the guy gets a lot of hate. I'm not the biggest fan of him, but it sounded like he really had
We're to
some
come
really,
around on him.
yeah. Sounds like, I mean, he's a lot more personality than Joe and I really originally thought. I just thought he was very bland. I guess that was my big thing with him, but starting to come around to him. I also had Jon Stewart, who hosted The Daily Show. Very funny guy. For reality stars, I also had Simon Cowell from American Idol, and now he's on, I think, America's Got Talent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't really have anybody for reality TV, but I mean, TV personalities. I had Jimmy Fallon, I had Scott Van Pelt. Chris Hardwick, I think, is someone that I would really like to talk to. He's into a lot of that nerd culture that I would be into. So, yeah, I would be into that. And then Rich Eisen is another guy I would love to have a drink with. He just seems like a really
Great.
cool guy. Yeah, I would. That's my list.
Awesome. Sweet.
Let's close it out
All righty. As always, we invite you to try these beers along with us.
responsibly.
Support your local breweries.
Always do some curbside pickup and cheers.
Cheers.